Hey everybody, Azdome sent me another one of their rear view mirror dash cams to install and review, and I figured the most responsible thing to do, since I've already installed one dash cam into a Telluride, one into a Kia Forte, one into a Jeep Wrangler. Let's see, where am I at now? Oh, the Hyundai Santa Fe's. Got two of them into there. The only responsible thing for me to do is to, of course, buy a new vehicle. Because if I'm going to be installing a new camera, you need to have a new vehicle to install it in, right? This makes sense. But more on the vehicle and its install later. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open this box up here and show you what's inside. It says 4K Ultra HD Streaming Media Mirror Dash Cams, the PG17 Pro on this one. Not to be confused with the PG17 Ultra. These are different. We'll get into a comparison video. Well, we might do that some other day. This is just focused on the Pro. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the box here. Get rid of some of this packaging. It comes with a memory card, of course the dash cam screen itself. It does have these nifty little rubber pads on the back here to help it hold and keep from falling off your mirror. Keeps it nice and steady. It's got a nice speaker right here, some venting here for temperature control. On the top here, there's the GPS, the trans flash, or the the memory card holder. There's a USB and an AV input. Along the bottom, there's just a power button and some more venting down here. The camera itself, of course, goes right, left, up, and down. It does not twist at all, so don't try it. Go ahead and take that off before I forget, because I always forget on those. And that there is the, it's a little bit ASMR. This is the mirror dash cam. Ooh, how fancy is that? Just like on some of the others, you can kind of see me and the camera in the back. It is minorly reflective. It's not exactly, a mirror finish, but it's enough that you can, see me like waving here. It's good enough. Next in the box, there's the power plug. This is going to be, kind of difficult for some people with newer vehicles because they don't always come with these now, I'm learning. But for everybody else, it does have a USB-A pass-through, so you can go ahead and charge up your phone or anything else with that. There's a GPS module here. Gets plugged into there, and it tells you like how fast you're going and, where you are. It's a GPS module. There's a little pry tool thing. There's a install booklet on how to do stuff and what it all does. A cleaning cloth, make sure that it's nice and clean. Clean the screen, clean the camera, it cleans stuff. There's two sizes of the rubber stretchy things. This is what goes around your mirror and hooks in here or here, depending on how big of a mirror you got. Some wet wipes in case you need those for applying some of these little wire management thingies. I don't ever use those. And then of course there's the rear view camera. Very important part to the rear view mirror of this whole thing. And it even comes with an extra little sticky thing for here in case you, ruin this one. Hopefully we won't need that. Oh, and two screws. You got two screws in there. And I'm told this is some sort of an upgraded camera, which this isn't the usual little boxy square cube thing. So hopefully that's a nice camera. Read a little bit on the box for what it says here. It does say it has a Sony IMX678 chip for the camera. That's a very nice camera for the Starvis 2 here. It's got 4K in the front and 2.5K in the rear. We're going to see how well that 2.5K works. 5 GHz Wi-Fi. It's got the ADAS, so we're going to check that out, see how well that works. Also, that's the Advanced Driver Assistance System, I think. GPS tracking, of course. Touchscreen, loop recording, voice control, because the voice control works really well on the other ones. We're going to see how it works on this one. Also, a 12-inch IPS touchscreen and 24-hour parking monitoring. So let's go ahead and meet the new vehicle and see what it takes to get this installed. And if you've tried to go online and see how to install a dash cam on these Jeep Compasses, you'll see that they're not very good. So I'm going to hopefully do you a lot better on this one. So I went ahead and moved Juice here. This is going to be called Juice. I'm going to see if I can get the name Juice right down here because it's orange and its name is Juice. I mean, doesn't that just kind of fit? It's orange juice. But let's go ahead and do the most important part, which is the disassembly, which is the main thing that's missing from everybody else's video that I could see on the internet. When you first come in here, you're going to see that there's this nifty little thing covering the mirror and everything, making it very difficult to access anything to get it like tucked up in here, nice and neat and stuff. So first thing we're going to do is put a little wedgie thing right in here and apply some pressure. And these things should pretty much just pop out to the left and the right. Let me just get some fingers up in here. There we go. That goes to the left, and this one is going to come to the right. And I'll show you the little clippy things here in just a second, right there, that hold these things in. So there's these little clippy things right here. You see how they go in and out. And there's these little notches right here. They will go in and out of. So there's the passenger side there, and there's the driver's side one right there. And again, it's just these little clippy things. That's it. That's all they look like. Just little clippy things. So if you have all this advanced driver stuff, there's going to be the little cameras and the windshield wiper things and everything's right in here. I think that's the cameras and that's the windshield wiper, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we can kind of tell. Yeah, this is going to be the windshield wiper rain sensing, and right here is going to be that front-facing camera that watches everything that you do right there. Yeah, that's right. Big Brother's watching you. Next thing right here on this side pillar here, the easiest thing to do is going to be first to just poppy this thing out. I'm going to start right here in this corner and just dig my fingers in and try to like pull it out. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we should get the trim off first. Let's do the trim first. I don't plan these videos out. You should know that by now. Let's pull it this way, because that's the way that the airbag is going to yank it out. Hey, just like that. And that thing comes out. Give this a little wiggle wiggle maybe. Jiggle jiggle. It'll come out. I know it will. What are we doing here? Up and down, left and right. Do some circles. Is that enough, you think? That may be enough. So it looks like this little thingy right here and these little doojobbies right here are going to hook into these little white clippy things right here. And here is your airbag. Everybody's saying, you know, just run it down here and tuck it in over here. And you know what's going to happen as soon as you do that? You're going to tuck it in right here and go right over this airbag. And if that thing ever deploys, that's going to yank that wire down. And do you really want a wire coming like right at your face, ripping this whole thing down, or possibly even keeping that airbag from deploying correctly? I don't think I want to. No. So we're going to go around the airbag. Wow, this thing is really stuck on here. All right, so we're going to get that thing off of there. See what it takes to yank this thing out. I'm not being gentle either. Sorry. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, what are we hung up on? Okay, so there's a little safety strap right here that's going to keep this A-pillar from flying out at you if there is an accident. So that's going to keep that thing there. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to try and disassemble that thing. It probably just push that little thing in there and then push it down, and then I'll probably take this whole thing off. I'm not going to go that far. I don't think you need it to either. It sets off to the side. That should be good enough. But from here, let's go ahead and, oh, hey, there's that trim piece right there. Let's see what it takes to get that off, because that's going to be in the way too. There we go. It just comes off. See? You're learning with me. Keep this coming on down, and if you need it any further than this, you know, we might have some problems. But we're just going to go ahead and pull this off around here. And there we go. That should give us plenty of access to get in behind the airbag. Because again, you do not want to go over this airbag. If you do that, you're just asking for problems. Has anybody figured out how to do the little kick thing? All right, so what do you do? Just like kick the bottom of it? Swing your foot? Hello? Oh, hey, there it goes. How cool is that? Check this out. Brand new backside. They gave me an extra set of floor mats. I thought that was kind of nice of them, and some other junk here. We're not going to worry about all this stuff, new car stuff. What I'm mostly concerned with is once we get the wire routed around here, there's probably going to be some thick, nasty black tar stuff in here, and we got to be able to expose that to get to here. And let's see how easy it is to pull these things out. Super duper easy. That is awesome. Love it when that happens. And the next thing we need to do is just kind of pry up on this. Come on. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to need a second hand for this. I'll try and set you down and point you up a little bit. I think you can kind of see me. Yeah, you can kind of see me right here. I'm just going to pull straight up on this. And yeah, that's got a bunch of tar in it. So just be careful when you're pulling this up and getting this thing off of here. That thing is just coated in tar. Ew, gross. Can you hear that? I don't know, you might not be able to. I'll show you this here in just a second. Just be very careful not to touch that black stuff. Oh man. Or if you do, wipe your hands off immediately. That stuff will get all over the paint. It'll get all over your trim, all over your headliner. It's nasty, gooey. It's, oh, disgusting. Oh, look at that. It's like sticky boogers. And you don't really even need that much of it undone. Just enough so that you can get down in here and around over here. Right over here on this other side. Yeah, see that nice black sticky tar stuff? Do not touch that stuff unless you absolutely have to. And you should not have to. Let's go ahead and get the camera, get it put up in there, wipe a bunch of sweat and stuff off my forehead, maybe get a drink, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this with this little fancy headgear thing on here. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get this memory card out of here. Just kind of rip this thing apart. And of course, be very careful not to lose this little thumbnail looking, or pinky nail even, sized memory chip. There we go. This is going to go shiny side to the front bumper in here, so dull side towards you. And initially I'm going to use the larger of these strappy things to put this thing on, and hopefully that's the right size. Otherwise, because it is kind of thin, but we're going to try it on big ones. We're just going to see how this goes. I'm going to go ahead and pre-do some of these things across the top just like so. They just kind of hook in like that. Then this thing comes up over here, over the mirror, and hookies on. I don't know, maybe that does need the smaller one. Try this side. That should be good. And of course, you want to make sure that the camera thing here is going off to the side and it's not being blocked by your rear view mirror. And of course, this thing goes down. Yep, that's going to hit the mirror. That's all right though, because I can at least block the sun. Let me kind of slouch down here. Yeah, see, kind of like that. So that should work. Might block a little bit of the mirror, and it won't go completely forward, but it'll still work. All right, let's go ahead and pull this thing down and get the power wires in here. And go ahead and hook up this camera and the GPS. Don't forget the GPS too. So for this, I'm gonna go ahead and start with just plugging this thing in here and loosely kind of laying it where it needs to go. Next is going to be the GPS module here, and this I'm going to run down the other side just a little bit, and that goes right up here. So that one's going to go that way, that one's going to go that way, and then we've got the power cord. So this is going to be a USB power plug that typically would get plugged in, somewhere here in your dash. You run it down either side of the A-pillars, underneath the dash, and then plug it in to wherever. This does not have one up here. Let me see if I can poke you around down over here, and somewhere, maybe even get some light on this subject. Down in there is a 12-volt power plug, but that doesn't really do me a whole lot of good way down there. So I'm going to go ahead and just hardwire this thing. And Azdome does have their own OBD2 plug-in. It just plugs in right to your car's OBD2 port, or there's a hardwire kit that allows you to tap into some fuses and stuff. And I may see if I can find one of those devices that allows you to pull this thing down, and this thing just it pops down. You just put your little spoon thingy in here and just kind of pry down, and that thing will pop off. I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't want to deal with it right now. But there are adapter plugs, allegedly, that can plug into here and then come straight down and plugs into your power, and that will give you your full-time 12 volts and your ignition voltage, so you can use your parking and it automatically switches. I hope that makes sense. That way it switches in between the parking and driving modes. But I don't have one of those yet. Stick tuned for a future video on that. Or I might just, put it in a different dash cam and show you how to use it there. So for this case, I'm going to use Azdome's OBD2 adapter. Let me show you what that looks like. Pretty sure I got a few different things up here, some switches. That looks like a regular hardwire kit. What did I do with it? Hang on, be right back. I gotta find it. Okay, I did find the OBD2. I'm not sure if this is Azdome's or not. Azdome's will natively work with it, so that's probably the best way to go about doing it. I'm gonna try it on this. I'm not sure who this is. Oh, maybe it is Azdome's. Yeah, it doesn't say Azdome. It just says OBD2 USB power cable for parking mode. We'll try it. So here's what these look like. Just got a little OBD2 plug. There are 3 little pins inside of here. I'm not sure how well that's gonna focus, or what kind of light we can get on that. There we go. You can see those 3 little pins, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top right. And that should plug into your ground, accessory, and 12-volt power. These are just so much easier than trying to find your fuse box and plug it in. This way you just route the wires around and plug it in. Very convenient. For this is just going to get, well, I guess we're going to make a huge mess out of this thing. We'll go ahead and plug this in right here, and this will get routed around. Also, this is all going to go up in the headliner, tucked behind this little plastic thing, and we're going to route these right around over here. So I'm going to go ahead and, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the thinner wire in first and then the thicker one behind it, because it makes a little sense to me. I don't like to make sense, but sometimes I do. It's accidental. And this first wire is going to be for the camera. So we're going to just kind of lightly tuck that up in here. It's of course going to fall down naturally because that's what it needs to do. That's what it wants to do. Oh, my bad. So before you plug this thing in here, first thing you want to do is route this thing around the airbag like I was talking about before. This is by far the most important thing. You do not want this to just go tucking it in here and then pulling it around here, because as soon as that airbag goes to deploy, it's going to yank this whole thing down and it'll either fail to open properly, causing you injury, or this wire here is going to literally come flying into your face at 120 miles an hour. You don't want that. I wouldn't want that. So this is going to get wrapped around the back side of here. And then right around here, I'm going to keep on tucking it up in here, and that'll go behind all of this, and then keep on going around here. Now this does say that there is an airbag in here, but because we've gone around the back here, once it gets pulled tight, it'll go in behind the airbag. It may still fall down if the airbag deploys, but it won't get wrapped around the airbag, causing it to fail to deploy or injury to occupants inside the vehicle. But this camera here does have the ability to unplug. Cool. That'll help me out a lot, because this will allow me to then run it without backtracking from the very beginning. I like to leave all my extra wire underneath the headliner over here in the back. So that will definitely help. All right, so we can go ahead and run all these wires. This is a reverse camera right here, or reverse camera switch. So that'll tuck into the, or plug into the reverse lights, and that'll then automatically change this from whatever view you have to the rear view mirror, if that's something that you want to do. It might help, it might not. Onto this thing. So I went ahead and got the power wire, again, back behind here, tucked them up here, and now they're both behind the airbag, less dangerous. And they are both plugged in here. So plugged in, down here, looped around here. Power wires coming down here. It'll go down the back side of the airbag here, and then tuck back in around here. And then the OBD2 port is tucked up under there. Let's see if I can shed some light on this. All right, OBD2 port is right here, right next to your hood latchy thing. Oh, yeah, that's how it works. Cool. So here in a minute, I'll go ahead and plug this in here so it'll power up, and you can see how that works. And then all this rest of this wire here will just get shoved and tucked in behind here. And I believe this dash is fairly easy to take apart if you really needed to. If you wanted to hardwire it, there are two, I believe these are 8mm bolts right here. Go ahead and take those out, and then I believe the whole thing just pops out. I don't think there's any other additional trim pieces to do anything else. So it just pops out, and then this piece right here slides out as well. Don't quote me on that. I just think that's how it goes, pretty sure. 80%. That's pretty good for me. But for the camera here, we're gonna go back behind here and tucky. This is gonna go all the way around in here. Just Kentucky it all around in here. Wrap it around there. Keep it going right up in here. Go around, just keep on going down, keep on going down. I'm gonna finish tucking this in, and I will meet you at the back. And if you wanna know how orange this thing is, when you get this little sticky here, it is that orange. It's pretty much the color of the orange stick. That's awesome. Awesome orange color. Oh, and then before I forget, gotta make sure you pull this thing off, and it should just kind of pop out. Pretty sure. Pretty sure? Fairly sure. Come on. And there's something right there. Yeah. Just give it a yank. I'm sure you won't break my car. Ugh. Wow. Oh, okay, so those thingies. Yeah, so they're robust. Just be careful, I would say, when you're yanking on this thing. You saw how I kind of I put a hand here and here, and then pulled on each one of these individually. There's 4 of them. Hopefully you can see where those are. And then there's these little clampy things that are gonna kind of barely clip into here and here. So just be careful when you're yanking this thing off, but don't be afraid to use a little bit of force. You saw how well I did that. Now we can, ooh, that's gonna be fun there too. Might need to get another zippy strip, poke it through there, and pull it and feed it through. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, oh yeah, get this thing fed around here. And just for video purposes, I'm going to pull this thing off all the way down here, just so you can see better, not because you really need to do this. And if you do, pull it all the way out. Make sure you keep your wires on the same side of the rubber strip. Don't go pulling it over and then thinking that you're gonna, do it that way, because that's gonna then cause problems. Don't do that. So we're gonna pull this thing down here, and you can see that it's got these little clippy things in here, and it's got a little clippy thing in there, and these look to be glued, so just be very careful if you're gonna pull on these and yank these down. Just pop them down like so. Again, just for demonstration purposes, you do not need to pull all those down if you don't need to, but it makes it easier to then pop this thing through here. Don't need all that much, and zippy stripping. So we just poke the zip strip through here. This is probably the most fun part of this whole process, trying to get this zip strip to turn around this corner. All the while you're trying not to get black stuff everywhere, which, as you can see, I've already wiped a lot of mine off. All right, once you get that thing pulled through, just kind of set it like that, and then we're gonna tape this to here. You don't really need a whole lot of tape, just enough to make it stick. Tape this thing around here, just kind of, help it feed through. Last little bit, always the most difficult. There it goes. Oh, hey, that even came off here. How handy. So let's just fish our zip strip down through here and just do it again. I'm gonna put a little curl to this just to make it a little bit easier to grab. Something about like that. Poke that through there. Comes down through here. And we're just gonna tape it on there again. And then feed it all the way up and through. All the way up and, oh, that was so close. I didn't tape that one very well. Ah, there we go. And it's through. I didn't take that very good at all. I'm sure you can do better. And the next thing is going to be mounting the camera itself. So I need this to go out the window that away. Okay, one of the things I like to do is go ahead and remove these screws from the cameras and use some orange thread lock on it. I use the gel, just shake it up. Okay, just make sure that when you're putting this whole thing back together, don't get too messy with that stuff, but it'll help hold it in there real nice. Something about like that. I'm sure that'll hold. Now, the best place I know to put this isn't on the glass, it is on the trim piece that we just kind of popped off. So I'm going to put this whole thing back into the car. Go ahead and put the trim piece back on. Of course, lining up the arrows. Where's my arrow? Just like that. Hopefully you can see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. There's two arrows. There's a little slot right there. There's a little dot right there. Just put them together. Just like that. And then this is going to go back up here. And the camera is going to get put right in here. That way we can adjust it up and down however we need. I'm just going to kind of level this out a bit because I don't want all this stuff in here, but I kind of want that about right there. That way there's plenty of extra wire, but not too much, and it'll just tuck up under here. It'll be fine. I'll show you how that looks once I get this whole thing wrapped up and done. Any excess wire that I do pull through here is just going to get tucked right up into the headliner here, as well as all this red wire stuff here. I don't connect this, however, if you wanted to, I'll see if I can figure out which one of these wires here this will plug into. I'll put a link also in the description to the posi taps, which are a better way to securely connect this nice and watertight so you don't damage the wire, cause corrosion inside. I'll leave links at everything down in the description to which wire this goes to and the posi taps. But for me, this is all going in the headliner. And once it's all neatly tucked up in and just kind of shoved up into the headliner, because you know who really cares what that looks like, just pop it back up in there and try not to get black goo everywhere. And this snaps back down here, this snaps back up here, and this just kind of pops back up in there. And this, I'm going to peel this off. I'm actually going to close this down and put this right here. Some people may prefer to have this wire going out the front here and then looping around. I don't want to risk it covering up the camera. Oh, don't forget to peel the sticker off the lens. But I just don't want to risk it, so mine's going to be dangling down here. And when I get in here and I shut it, I might be able to back it up, put it forward, get that exact right angle, make sure it's not going off the sides anywhere. Yeah, and here's what it ultimately looks like. All right, let's go ahead and kick this thing open and see what it looks like. And hopefully it didn't fall down. I did use a wet wipe right here to kind of clean off any goo that they may have put on here from the factory or from detailing it, trying to clean it up. So let's go ahead and plug it in and see what it looks like for real looks like. Oops, I think we forgot to do some stuff up here. Oh, that's because I don't have it plugged in just yet. Go ahead and tuck some of this stuff back up in here and button this up. Okay, I went ahead and just tucked this thing back up in here, and I've been shoving the wire down here, leaving just a little bit of slack so that we can go behind the airbag right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing shoved back in here. It's just really hard to do with sweating and a camera on your head and trying to get everything done all at once. Yeah, you can kind of see how it just kind of fits back in there. Wiggle it down, snap this thing back in here, and this guy right here is going to clip back up in here. Just make sure that you get the wires back in there behind there. Whoops. Before you go shoving it back up in here. So make sure you got your wires run good, and then carefully sandwich those things back on the right and left side. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the camera. I'm gonna set this thing down on a tripod and see how we can get that thing to look nice and pretty. Go through the setup, go through the menus, go through the options, and see what this thing's all about. One more thing before we go any further. I ended up putting the GPS module up here on the glass. I just kind of fed it through. This thingy right here, there's two little clips on the front, and then don't yank those things off on the back. Just this thing fits in here and then slaps up. So I just took the wire here, and I'm just going to tuck it up right in here. There's a nice little empty spot right there. It's just going to kind of sit right there. Let me go ahead and get this thing put back up, and then we'll talk about the camera and the features. Okay, let's go ahead and press the start and see what happens here. Looks like we got another SD card, format error, format SD at once. Okay, sure. Looks like I might need to adjust the camera down just a little bit, but let's see what we got to do to get to the settings. Settings, here. Got a resolution, got the 4K 2K, and there's an option for 2K 2K and 1K 2K. So it looks like the rear is always going to be 2.5K. We'll just go ahead and stick with that. Where is the beep? Take the beep off. Touch tone off. Oh, that's so much better. Loop recording, I like to go for 2 or 3 minutes. 1 minute, just, I don't know, just like there's too many minutes in there or something, I don't know. Video encoding, there's 264, 265. You know what, let's go with 265 because it's slightly higher compression, slightly smaller sizes. It's maybe an extra couple of clips in there. Audio, on. Yeah, we want to keep that audio on. G sensor, middle. We're going to keep it in the middle for now. If you have something like a Jeep or Bronco, heavy duty truck, maybe you want to put that to low or off. Time-lapse recording, right now it's off. Low, middle, high. Collision boot recording. You know what, let's just put it on medium, see how that works. Frequency, 50 hertz, 60 hertz, so European, Asian, or North American style. Screensaver mode, I want that off because I don't want it to put on the screensaver. As you're after 15 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes of no operation, the screen turns off, only displays time, and the dash cam is still recording. So it'll still record the dash cam, but it just won't be showing your rear camera, which, I mean, that's kind of the point of this whole thing. So we'll leave that off. Touch tone, we already turned that off. Very nice. Volume. Let's just put it in the middle, see how annoying that gets. Or even what she even says. Screen brightness, I like to put mine down just a little bit. I like it a little dim, because then in the nighttime, I don't think this thing will change for day or nighttime, so it'll always be the same brightness. So maybe something that you want to throw extra dim. How dim is it? Let's see how dim it is. That's not too bad, honestly. Let's see here. Let's go to both cameras the other way, and the rear camera. That's honestly not too bad. I might just leave it just like that. Go back to the gear, what we got. Screen brightness, display mode. That's going to be your different ones, how I was just going through them. You just kind of swipe left and right, and there's your left and right picture in picture, and then there's show rear, show front. Rear camera display, vertical flip, so if you had to flip your camera upside down, you may need to vertical flip or mirror flip it. Background, gray, blue, pink. Well, that... Oh, it turns to pink. Okay. That's a little too... Is there an option for orange? Oh, there's no orange. Oh well, we'll leave it gray. That's fine. Time display, we'll leave that on. Is there a time format? 24-hour clock, that's fine. Date format, month, day, year, sure. Reverse mode, connect rear camera, red. Oh, okay, so if I connect that, and I'll leave that in the description below, hopefully I'll find that whichever wire that is that goes to the reverse light, and there's full screen, full frame. Okay. Oops. Fatigue reminder, probably just a timer that says, you know, yeah, after 2, 4, 6, 8 hours of driving for your safety, it'll tell you to take a break. I don't like vehicles telling me what to do like that. Voice control, going to turn that on, and this will be the commands for everything. So there you can see what all the commands are. We won't talk about those right now just yet. We'll go through some of those later. Advanced driver assistance settings. To your settings. Forward collision warning, lane departure warning, front vehicle start warning. Front vehicle start warning, I do like that. Forward collision warning, we'll try that. The lane departure warning, so I've had these on these cameras before. It doesn't know when you turn your turn signal and when you don't have your signal on. So if you veer out of any lane, whether you use your signal or not, it's gonna be like, hey, you're shifting lanes. Well, it's like, yeah, dude, I know. I put on my signal and I'm changing lanes. It just doesn't know the difference. I don't use that too much. I just leave that turned off. There is a calibrate button, and once I get out and driving, I will hit the calibrate button on that just to see what it needs to do to calibrate. Wi-Fi, on, off, 5G. So, okay, that's how you turn the Wi-Fi on. Turn off Wi-Fi. There we go. So now you can see that the voice does work pretty well. And it's pretty snappy, it's pretty quick. ADAS, Wi-Fi, speed units, miles per hour, of course, in the States. Time zone settings, I am GMT -4. Where are we at? 4, 3, 2, 5. I forget what I am. It's 1:57 right now. That's all I know. GPS info. Okay, so where's my set the time? How do I set the time? Time format? No. Time display. Huh. Here's GPS info. Looks like it's tracking 9 satellites right now. I'm surprised it doesn't already set my time. Maybe it already has. It just has to figure it out. So GPS display. Sure, we'll leave that on. Watermark. We'll leave that on for now. Language. English. Chinese. French. Korean? Maybe? Format reminder, I like to just have it remind me every 15 days. Just go ahead and format the memory card. It'll end up getting clogged up with any of those like vibration alerts or collision alerts or any of those kinds of things, and you don't want your card getting filled up with all that junk. So every 15 days, about every 2 weeks, I'll go ahead and just clear it out, format the card, and if I needed them, I probably already went and popped the card out or moved the video over to my phone, and now it's on my computer, it's on YouTube, it's out there somewhere. I'm making fun of somebody. And then of course format the SD card. Do you want to format it? No. Cancel. Factory reset, about. And there's all the about stuff. Telephone number, YouTube, Instagram, and if you need any service at azdome.com or service at azdomevip.com. Still don't know how to format my clock. Let's see if it's right yet. It automatically said it. So it's 13:59, Saturday, 7/11/26, and that is correct, 13:59. That's 1:59. That's the same thing. It's PM. Don't worry about it. That's how I like it. And oh, there we go. So if you go up and down, you can easily see that. There we go. I don't need to adjust my camera. What I needed to do was just adjust this thing, which no, that needs to go up just a little bit, and then I can just adjust that down a little more. Anyway, there we go. That looks good. And if you go right and left, and it'll switch to cameras. So you can go different camera views here, and you'd see how snappy that is. That's pretty good. Azdome does pretty good on how snappy their cameras are. I like it. And up and down for where the camera's positioned. That's pretty cool. That's good enough. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some video on here of me driving around so you can see what the video quality looks like after it's been put on YouTube and compressed just a little bit. So the video quality may not be exactly what I see on my screen, but it'll be pretty close.
Stuck to the glass, pointed straight at the street. Time to watch the circus of the morning elite. Lanes is clean, power's on. See who's driving crazy before dawn. Merge onto the highway, nothing but brake lights. People changing lanes like they wanna pick fights. No blinker, no warning, just a drift in a prayer. Cut me right off like I wasn't even there. Good thing the frame rate is locked and it's high, capturing the madness of the folks driving by. Every single day it's a brand new test, trying to survive the drive in the wild, wild west. The dash cam's rolling, pointing out the glass, watching everybody drive with a total lack of class. Tailgating close, running through the red. I'm just trying to make it where I'm going instead. Crazy on the left, chaos on the right. Got it all on video for your viewing delight. Here's a guy texting, driving with his knees, swerving through the construction zone, doing what he pleases.
Okay, so you look at the things going across the top. First you got the clock at the top left. Then next to that you got the 4K 30 plus 2.5K 30 FPS HDR. That's telling you that the front camera's at 4K and the rear camera is at 2.5K. Over on the right side it's got the time, the day, and the date. On the left side, where it's got like the road lines looking things, that's going to tell you your direction and your speed. And I found that it's pretty close. So sometimes it's just maybe a mile or so, a little high, but other than that, it's pretty accurate. One of the features that I wanted to point out here real quick, when I was taking a look at the instruction manual, which I mean, I know it's rare that I actually even touch those things, but I noticed that on the left side, it'll take you up and down on your camera, whether that's the front or the rear camera. But if you go over here to the right side and you start doing the same thing, there's your brightness right there. That is awesome. Super helpful. Great placement for it too. Always there, always available. Super easy. That's nice. One of the other features that I like about these cameras is the way that it kind of eliminates the blind spots. So when a vehicle is passing you and you see them coming up over here, by the time that their tail light hits the edge over here, you can take a look outside your window and you can see the vehicle right there already. So it pretty much eliminates your blind spots on both sides. I also like how the time, day, date is very prominently displayed up here in the top right corner. Overall, when I've been looking at this camera, it is a very good, pretty clear camera. It could be just a pinch better, but as far as a 2.5K camera, this actually is pretty good. Can't really like pinch and zoom or anything on this, but I'll try and get on one of the videos and kind of zoom into it a bit so you can see just kind of what the detail is looking like. Because one of the features that you're mainly going to be using this for is the rear view camera. So to have any sort of pixelation, graininess, static, which there isn't really any of that in it. It just makes sense to me to have the best camera you can in the rear. It's nice to have a 4K front camera, but if you're gonna be using this for rear view mirror, 4K on the back, definitely helpful. And they do have one of those. Check out my channel page down below. There's another Azdome video for install on the 4K version. But for the price, I gotta admit, that's a really nice screen, even at the 2.5K. Thank you so much for watching this video. That's Paradigm for today. It may not be the right one, but that is the channel. I had fun making this video. If you had fun watching it, please consider hitting that like, comment, subscribe, share, all that YouTube stuff down below. It really does help out a small YouTube channel like this. If you need other bad examples in your life, you may need to see somebody about that. But you can also click the channel page down below and it'll have all kinds of bad examples of how to do things. Take a look around the channel page and check out those other videos. Special thanks to all my subscribers out there. Without you, this would never be possible. If you want to help support the channel, go ahead and click on the description down below. There's going to be links to the products used in this video and maybe some other things too. Click those links, buy whatever you want, and I'll get a small commission for it. It doesn't even have to be one of those things down below. You can just buy whatever you want. Click the link, buy whatever you want. It'll help support this channel. Thank you. Have fun in your garage, stay safe when you're driving out there on those roads, and know that you are appreciated.